Hi, I'm Larry Berman, and here's what's on my radar this week. And I imagine very much it's the same that's on your radar as well. We got great news from J&J on their recent vaccine trials. Very, very high efficacy in terms of mitigating mortality. So really, really good news. There were some mixed signals from different virus strains in South America and South Africa, but generally speaking, very, very good news. It'll still be a couple of months before those are out. Single dose jabs, don't need the intense refrigeration, and so a lot more good news coming. Interesting though to see the market response where J&J stock was down on the news. So I guess they had a headline number that came out and said 66% efficacy when you look at everything all in together. So but very, very good news there. So that's pretty exciting. On the policy side, we heard out of the White House this week that they really, really want a bipartisan focus on the next relief aid for COVID. And the 1.9 trillion number out there, the insiders that I follow in Washington say on a bipartisan basis, it's going to come in closer to $1 trillion. So maybe a bit of disappointment this week on that front as well. Maybe it takes a little longer to do. We don't get it till March. But what's clear here is Biden does not want to use reconciliation, which is where you don't need the bipartisan support in the Senate, i.e. 50+1, which they would have, to pass a bigger aid bill, because the bigger agenda is really on stimulus. And again, this is not stimulus. This is replacing lost income, extenuation of wages, money for the states, and things like that. And of course, more money to fuel Robinhood accounts. We heard from Jay Powell this week, and he's still not thinking about raising rates. So he refuted some of the things that some of the other central bankers had commented on in recent weeks. I think markets like that. Fed's willing to do more, but reemphasized the fiscal and how linked their timing was to getting past COVID. So a lot of moving parts here, but really the big focus on the week, of course, is earnings from US and companies. And we saw some great earnings numbers from the likes of Apple and some others, but the stock sold off into the news. So the noise around the big story of the week and what's happening, for the more than a decade now, I've been talking about inequality being the biggest problem society has. And we're seeing it being fought out now in a very different way than I even imagined. And that's going after the big hedge funds and the shorts. Is it illegal? Well, collusion is illegal. You can't get together and gang up and cause pain to other people. That you can't do. It's questionable how they can track it, whether they can prove it, but there'll be some inquiries into what's going on here. But the central clearing corps, when there's a margin call, there's a margin call, and you can halt trading and you can stop trading if there's a financial risk to the company. So they did that. They had to recapitalize. No one believes them, or some people who understand it believe them, but no one really believes them. They think it's the man trying to stick it to the average investor. AOC flares up, and you see the extreme part of the GOP and the Democrats kind of come together to fight for the common man here. So will be interesting. So our bull and bear pick of the weeks, I'm not making a call here. I don't know who's going to win this civil war, but here are two ETFs, and you can be bullish or bearish on either of them. But have a look at GVIP. This is the Goldman Sachs VIP list of the top 50 names that Goldman Sachs clients like. Who are Goldman Sachs clients? Largely elite, hedge fund, well-to-do kind of. So those are the names you want to look at and what's in the GVIP ETF. And then on the other side of that, what are they short? A lot of them are short bad retailing stocks, GameStop as an example there. Have a look at XRT, very heavily shorted ETF and the names within it. That'll give you some indication of how this is all going to play out. Have a great week, everyone. Remember, subscribe to our YouTube channel and the alerts so you know when new content is coming. Thank God January is over, but I think February is going to be a bumpy ride as well.